Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Acer CyberGamer Premier League. I am your host, V Deadline, and I'm joined by my co-caster, Nutters. Nutters, how are you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, and you assessed?
Yeah, doing well. Of course, we have a great matchup on our hands here. Immunity up against SYF Gaming for our first matchup of the day. Just some overall thoughts, Nutters. How do you feel about this matchup?
I feel like Immunity are obviously that stronger team. They've been around in the scene for quite a bit longer, but I do feel like SYF actually have quite a strong lineup as well.
Yeah, I mean, that could certainly be the case, and like you said, I mean, SYF Gaming having quite a bit to prove here. However, it's definitely well within their hands. I mean, we do know this lineup to be quite strong, of course. Chris O'Wow having quite a lot of experience there, Inno, the in-game leader, and Cross Orpa as well. As interesting to see here as well, Zudmeister actually competing on the SYF Gaming side, which we don't normally see. I mean, Mist being their substitute, I normally see in that core roster. However, Zudmeister will be picking up that 5th position. Do you have any thoughts about that, Nutters?
I just hope that he still works as well with the team. That's probably the key for them. As long as he can work well on their map rotations, then I'm pretty sure they'll have a strong lineup.
Yeah, that's certainly right. And I mean, talking about map rotations, of course, we're seeing Inferno today, in which haven't seen before in the past in quite some time, of course. Valve recently deciding to put that into the active duty map pool in place of Dust 2. How's your thoughts about this map and how it could play a part in this matchup?
Well, I mean, I'm going to say that it's obviously a very new map added to the rotation. It's not very clear just how much practice the teams will have had on it. Obviously, it's only recently that it's been announced. So maybe in the vetoes, when it gets around to that, depending on how many teams have actually been practicing Inferno, then we may be able to see teams coming out on top by quite a way. Yeah,
definitely. And just to lay a bit of context about this tournament, of course, over $16,000 prize pool for the CyberGamer Premier League, brought by Acer, of course. Definitely some, there's a lot on the line here for the teams in which, they need to be performing the best that they must compete, of course. And I mean, just to look at the Immunity roster a little bit, I'm sure we haven't talked about them too much, but do you have any standout players at all, Nutters, in which we can expect to see perform well in this match?
I'm going to have to say Urcast. I mean, I've seen him dropping 40 bombs, but I have to admit that was during the Zen League and on Dust 2. Now, that's no longer in the rotation. I'd like to see if he can still keep up these sort of performances.
Yeah, certainly. And I mean, we do know Immunity to have quite a strong lineup, of course. We're seeing Moe, James, Gratis, Burn coming along with Urcast in that lineup. A lot of experience at that hand, of course. Do you have any thoughts about how James can perhaps lead his team in a way that's, going to bring us to a dominant victory for them?
He obviously did a great job during the Zen League. Definitely pulled out some good performances, kept the team together. I'd just like to see him keeping that up.
Yeah, certainly. And as you mentioned, the Zen League LAN, of course, and in which CyberGamer, of course, doing their own LAN for the finals for the very first time at their own CG studio, hosted here in Adelaide, of course. So definitely some exciting things there. And it's something I've sort of reiterated about throughout this stream, of course, is how so much is on the line for both teams here. First match of the league, of course, a lot of pressure riding on both teams, and having that $16,000 prize pool as well as a LAN final at the CG studio in Adelaide, both teams are going to need to be competing at their utmost best.
Most definitely, and being the early games in this season, you want to get your name right at the top of that leaderboard. So this is probably what these teams are fighting for.
Yeah, certainly, and I'm sure we're not too far away from the game here. Just waiting on one of the, I believe, Moe to connect from the Team Immunity lineup. However, we haven't quite seen much of Inferno, but I believe we have some of the vetoes coming in here just at the moment. This is a best of 2 format, of course, everyone, so both maps will be played. SYF Gaming on the first veto, they will take out, I believe, Train, that is. So any thoughts on that, Nutters, as to Train being the first ban here?
I wouldn't really have too many issues with that. I think that's just a generally alright ban.
Yeah, absolutely. And Immunity getting the first pick here. He gets to pick Inferno, something we haven't seen before in such a long time, of course. Immunity then banning out Cache of all maps, which is actually quite standard for them, quite a permaban for them, and that would leave SYF on the final pick of this matchup, which will be Cobblestone. So Inferno and Cobblestone will be the two maps here, Nutters. Any general thoughts in how the bias may sway at any team?
I'm going to say the upper's going to play a big part in both of these maps, especially at those long angles, especially down mid, especially on Inferno, I'd say.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be loving to see a battle of the uppers on both of these maps, I'd say.
Yeah, certainly. And you can see the knife round is underway here for the first map, of course. Team Immunity will take that, in which I do believe they should be going for the CT side here, of course. At least in the past, we know Inferno to be quite CT-sided, in which it's good to get off to a good start. Of course, we'll just have to wait a moment and see how that pans out. Which side would you prefer to start on, Nutters, had you won the knife round in Immunity's case?
I'd probably obviously stick with that CT side.
Okay.
That's where you probably want to stay.
Yeah, certainly the case. And I do believe they will be staying there, so not far away from the match start here, ladies and gentlemen. And I mean, SYF Gaming, a lot riding on them here. Like you said before, I mean, the first matches of the season, it's important that you get off to a good start, and I'm sure both teams are looking to do that here today. And I mean, we've talked about one of the standout players for Immunity. Let's switch things over to SYF a little bit, and Nutters, tell me a little bit about one of the standout players for the SYF Gaming roster.
I'd like to say that Chris Wow is probably my favourite on consistency, sorry.
Yeah.
But obviously seeing Inno running that sort of in-game lead and the AWPing, I'd say he stands out a little bit more for me.
Yeah, and that does play such a pivotal role, of course, as we know. AWPing and in-game leading is something difficult to do, but we're coming into the first pistol round here. Nutters, start us off.
Yeah, it looks like we've got some interesting guys. We've got obviously 4 sets of armor on Immunity. We see the 4 sets of armor and then obviously the utility on Inno. A little bit of gunfire going down mid to start this one out. And James with a lovely pick onto Zudmeister there. Does take off that head. Early picks to actually get them this one-man advantage.
Yeah, so great start here for James, and that's really going to be the key point here coming into this first round. Having that man advantage makes things so much more difficult on that T side. Chris Wow here with the Glock, looking to do a bit of damage in others.
Yeah, he'll be looking to do as much as he can here, but for the moment they are just going to be making their way slowly up Banana, so this will be most likely a play towards this B site. There is obviously only 2 players on the site, Gratisfaction and Burn. Burn heavily tagged up, as you said. He's got to be hiding behind the coffin, so he just needs to keep himself out. The flash does come out from Gratisfaction. Shots going out. Squishy picks up the first one onto Gratisfaction. Will be able to take down James and as well. Squishy's going to get this. The bomb should be able to go down. And now it's on Urkas and MoeCQ 2-3 to try and make this retake come back.
Yeah, so 3 versus 2 situation now for Immunity. Bit unexpected with their man advantage, however. They are in the disadvantage here, coming in Urkas, of course, and MoeCQ through that construction area. Great crossfire here shown from SYF Gaming, and as you can see, Squishy just ripping the head of Moe. Moe responding well with one of his own frags, however. All to do here for Moe. Gets another, actually, so now left in a 1 versus 1 situation. He has the kit, 10 seconds on the clock, and it's all to do for Pex here, and he gets an absolute brain slice of a headshot. Nutters, SYF Gaming up 1-0.
Yeah, that is excellent. Squishy actually picking up the 4K in that round. Very well played by him. We'll be seeing some UMPs coming out, an AK-4 Squishy, Mac-10 sticking there on Chris Wow, and we do see Galil coming out onto Pex. Will just be a couple of upgraded pistols there for Immunity. No armor, however, so probably just trying to do a bit of damage to this SYF economy. In saying that, we're going to see a few shots coming out. Not going to be too much damage really being dealt. James has been tagged up by that grenade early, but for now they're just going to be playing slowly. A couple of players actually pushing up Bananas here, and it looks like Burn and Chris may be the first 2 people. Never mind, Chris will not peek at the same time as Gratisfaction, and they will just back away ever so slightly.
Yeah, so I mean, Immunity on the eco here, of course. It's important that they do get those close quarter situations in which they do only have pistols. Of course, SYF Gaming with that full armor and a couple SMGs and rifles, in which you've alluded to before. coming down on the clock here. No damage being exchanged here besides James, of course. But I'm interested to see how SYF Gaming decide to pick up the pace here as they sway towards that Nana location.
Yep, they do have 45 seconds. It looks like they're setting up some of these grenades. Smoke's going over, Molotov's going out, Flash is coming through. Everything should be underway. There is going to be a few shots fired. No damage really going either way. Greatest Pex gets taken out by Inno. Lovely shots from James and Mwave to trade that back. Pex gets one. Intel! Oh my god. Mwave gets the second 1D onto Chris there. Gets taken out in the end by Squishy. And now it's all on Urcast with just a CZ. He's going to see what he can do. He gets the shots off onto Squishy. Does manage to take him out now. Inno and Urcast in this one-on-one. The bomb's still not yet down, and there is only 10 seconds to play. If Urcast holds his position...
Oh no, he's running out of time.
He should be able to get a retake here. Gonna fake the plant. He needs to get this down. He needs to force Urcast out, and that's actually going to be the first round for immunity straight away.
Fantastic stuff seeing there from the immunity roster. Quite a lot of patience from Urcast, in which you alluded to before. I mean, it's almost expected for the T to plant there in that situation. However, Urcast and Moe just doing a fantastic job of running down the clock and getting those first initial frags. So 1-1 will be the scoreline here. And SYF Gaming a bit on the back foot now.
Oh, you definitely have to say that. I mean, they lost 4 weapons in that round. We do see now Immunity able to come out with 5 M4s, full sets of armor, except for helmet on Urcast and Greatest Faction. So they do have the advantage. Shots coming down Banana towards Chris at the moment, but nothing really getting done. There we go. Burn takes out Chris to the head. Takes out Squishy as well, giving that 5-on-3 advantage. Pex has pushed up in apartments, but will be taken out by Urcast. And now Inno and Zud, the last 2 players remaining. Moe trying to do a bit of damage to Zudmeister. Can't get too much on him at the moment. Does take him down quite heavily, now down to 7. Now it's on Inno. He is getting flanked from behind. He has been spotted through the smoke. Gets taken out by Burn. That's the 3rd for Burn in this one. And Moe coming around to finish that off with a UMP. Takes immunity into that 2-1 lead. Yeah,
great job from Burn there to get those 3 frags. Bit of a stock standard round, or quite a expected conclusion to it, of course. SYF Gaming being on that eco, but I think what we're seeing there from SYF at least is just spreading out along the map and getting a read on Immunity's defense and how they set up on this Inferno map. So coming into round 4 here, much of the same to be expected, Nutters.
Yeah, we do see Pex actually pushing up quite hard. Takes out Greatest Faction early. That leaves only 1 player on this A site, and it will be Burn. Picks up the double, picks up the 3rd. Oh my god, Burn, what was that? It's going to get tagged by this P250, but what a lovely tag up there by Inno. Now it is a 3-on-2. Shots coming out from Squishy, not able to do much. This bomb needs to go down. Inno just needs to get this down. They need that money. Moe gets taken out by Inno, but now Intel picks up the final 2. And this will be quite an easy defuse. Just going to see if he can pick up anything else. Goes to the M4A1S, and then we'll get the easy defuse now.
Yeah, quite a prosperous round there for the SYF Gaming lineup. Getting that plant and 3 frags. Great job shown from Inno there, but as you said, Burn just being an absolute anchor on that B bomb site. Getting the frags early on, and will now lead us into a 3-1 scoreline. First buy round coming from both teams here.
Yeah, we are going to see a first full rifle round. As I said, Zudmeister actually taking up that AWP at the moment. So that'll be an interesting thing to see what he's able to do with that. Looks like he'll probably be playing that straight up mid position. None of these CTs are giving him that chance though at the moment. But it looks like they've got 2 players playing towards Banana. Only a couple playing towards second mid. And it does look like it will be the AWP holding any rotation.
Yeah, so just slow beginnings here for SYF Gaming, however. Just looking to prod around the map, and you can see Zudmeister with the AWP here, which is actually quite an interesting pickup. As we know, Inno to be quite a talented AWPer himself. I think with Zudmeister having the AWP here, I think he's just trying to best suit or accommodate for his substitute, in which he isn't normally playing on this team. So great stuff shown there from Inno, showing that he can be adapting and really allow his teammates to have the best capability that they can. But they are working their way towards the Nana location, Nutters, and we may actually be seeing a B-side execute here.
Yeah, they tried this the other time and it did work ever so slightly, but they need to make sure this one's done to perfection as they do start this push. There is only Greatest Faction and Burn holding the site. Greatest Faction obviously has his own AWP here, so he will be from behind. He's going to head back through construction now. As they do start to play onto the site, they haven't spotted out Burn yet, who is holding that angle. Will get the first shot onto Squishy. Does get one. Goes back to Specs out, Chris. What a clean up Burn. Aren't you okay? Picks up 3. Pex takes it out. And now Pex goes straight down to James. And what a lovely round from Burn, picking up another 3K.
Yeah, fantastic stuff seen from Burn there. And he's almost just scaring the entire T side away from the bomb site there with just such amazing frags and, you know, multiple kills coming out through every round. So SYF Gaming back on the back foot once again, and it will be just Tech9s and Deagles coming into this round as Immunity look to make their 5th.
Yep, Moe getting that early one with the grenade out onto Inno. Lovely shooting there, but you'd think that maybe SYF need to start playing towards this A site instead. It's B site just not working for them.
Yeah, and I actually think you're right. I mean, just having a spread along that. But as I say that, Peck's doing a fantastic job, along with Chriso getting a pick of their own. So perhaps this round is not a foregone conclusion.
It may not be, but James will trade one out. Gratisfaction picks up another, and now it is back down to Zudmeister in a 1-on-2 up against 2 rifles. All he has is that lovely Glock, so he's going to be in a bit of a tight situation, you'd say. But in saying that, he's not really got much to lose at the same time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Substitute of the team. Not much. He does actually pick up a Deagle, though, of all things, so perhaps a bit of an opportunity. 50 seconds on the clock, that is. Gratisfaction and James with an AWP and rifle respectively. A little bit of utility, of course. Molotovs on each player. And it looks as though Zudmeister will gravitate towards this B bomb site as he picks up an AK.
Yeah, he's managed to get himself a weapon, which is not too bad. But the problem is he needs to get the first shot off onto Gratisfaction here. Otherwise, it will be difficult. Never mind, Gratisfaction does spot him out, does take him out, and leads Immunity to that 5-1 round advantage.
Yeah, so all to do here for SYF Gaming now is the score's getting a little bit too uncomfortable for them as they do look to buy into this round. Quite a lot of money on both sides, as you can see here, but at the end of the day, it's rounds that matter, not economy. So really need to be seeing something coming from SYF Gaming as they do look to prod that apps location, which you alluded to before, Nutters, and how A site control perhaps may be the way to go for them.
Yeah, if they're able to execute something out onto this A site and it does work, then they'll definitely be looking a little bit better. The bomb is obviously over in that second mid area, so they'll probably be looking to play towards this A site. Just keeping an eye down Banana as well to make sure that nothing really comes for them. But they do have these 5 AKs, which should be just enough to try and execute onto this A site. In saying that, though, they do have 3 players up around those apartments. They do have 1 player in mid and a couple more ready to join him if they do want to. But for now, they will actually be backing ever so slightly out of apartments. Looks like Moe's going to get flashed into Boiler Room. He does get the first pick onto Pex. Chris Wilde trades him out straight away, however. And it is back down to that 4-on-4. And it looks like James is actually going to be rotating through to this A site.
Yeah, and that is the correct call here, as we can see. SYF Gaming going for that execute towards A bomb site. It's important that they start well, as 4 versus 4 is favourable, however, more picks are needed. And as I say that, Gratisfaction getting the first pick in that Modo location. Zudmeister looking to get the refrag, does so successfully, and now left in a 3 versus 3 situation.
Yeah, we are seeing a 3v3 now, and the Urkas getting one through the flash onto Zudmeister. Lovely shooting there. Urkas can't pick up another one. This keeps going, trades back and forth into a 2-on-2. Make that a 2-on-1. Chris now tagged up heavily. Gets finished off by Burn. That was a lovely team ace. Each person picking up a kill for Immunity. 6-1 the round advantage. The economy not looking the worst for SYF, so they should be able to buy back up into this one.
Yeah, they should be able to buy, as you said. However, Immunity just playing so stable and strong here. I mean, as you said, a team ace last round. I mean, that just goes to show the amount of consistency and strength in these players, of course. Gratisfaction peeking down that mid location with the AWP. Unsuccessful on his first pick. However, SYF Gaming gravitating towards the banana location yet again. They're just not having much luck in either bomb site here, Nutters.
Yeah, the thing I'm going to say now is that they'll probably need a very strong CT side to make some sort of comeback from this. It doesn't look like it's going to be a very good half for them. In saying that, though, they are going to be gravitating back again towards this A site. They did get a few more picks than they usually do on that B site, so they will be making that move. Gratisfaction is holding that angle for close. Does get pop shot, but nothing really coming out of it. does look like they're going to be trying to play around, though. And now it's going to be on... I believe that'll be Urkes at the back of the site to see what he can do.
Yeah, I do like to see this from SYF Gaming, prodding that mid location, something we haven't seen from them before in this matchup yet. They're slowing things down, which you can see Immunity have actually stacked the A bomb site. So whether SYF fall for this trap or not is another thing. And Gratisfaction with a great AWP shot there onto Chris O'Wow. And it's looking grim, Nutters.
It is not looking the best for them. We've got shots coming out through the smoke. Everything just not going right for these players at the moment. Mo picks up one, Pex picks up another, then Squishy takes out Mo. It's a 3-on-3 now for this retake. This will be a slightly more difficult one, you'd say.
Yeah, certainly. And we're now here in a 3 versus 3 situation. James getting 2 picks there in the graveyard location. That will be a third. So fantastic stuff seen from him. And that's got to be bad for the SYF Gaming roster. I mean, it's got to be demoralizing of all things. I mean, you finally got yourself a plant. Quite a favorable situation, which of course as well. So it just sucks to lose that last round. And that's really going to hurt on their morale and perhaps confidence coming into this match.
Yeah, you'd probably say that when you're down 7-1, you've just actually had a full buy. You got the bomb plant down. It was a 3-on-3. And when all 3 of those are cleaned up by one player, that's just not really the morale boost that you need. In saying that, Burn's going to get up the first one onto Inno here, throwing out these flashes, trying to make sure this goes right. And Gratisfaction actually takes out Squishy, and Chris trades Burn straight away. But Moe's already in behind these boys. Picks up 1, picks up 2. Zudmeister trades him out. And now it's a 3-on-1. Zudmeister only 45 HP. And he should be approached very shortly and have his head blown off.
Yeah, he's certainly right as he's weaseling his way through this Orange's location, but Gratisfaction is well aware of that, and he will take the frag onto Zudmeister. Just to go back to that round, I mean, Gratisfaction and Burn doing a great little crossfire there in the sandbags and top of Banana location, in which it was just so difficult for SYF to get both frags at the same time, in which they were peaking at different intervals all throughout that engagement. So great stuff from Immunity as expected, but round 10 here, and SYF are looking to half buy into it.
Yeah, I'd have to say that so far, I think SYF just seem to keep on walking into the crosshairs of these Immunity players. And that's not what they need to be doing. They need to be double peaking at the same time, try and get a man advantage, even if not just trading them straight out. In saying that, it looks like they are trying more towards this A site. But even then, this isn't working for them.
Yeah, you can see here, getting his way up through the smoke, gets the frag onto Urkus, but he's got no idea of Moe's location, and he will pick up 2 frags here. Burn pushing down the Banana location, getting an easy frag right there onto Chris O'Wow. And all of a sudden, it's all left on Squishy here.
Yeah, Moe does manage to clean that one up, and SYF just being caught in these 1-on-X situations for the last few rounds. 1-on-1, 1-on-2, 1-on-3. You know, they're just not getting it out for them. 9-1 down after 10 rounds. You'd say they need to pull something out, at least try and bring this back to maybe a 10-5, 11-4 at the worst half. Try and really pull out something amazing on their CT side.
Yeah, I mean, I know Inferno to be CT sided, but surely not as much as 9-1 merely 11 rounds into the game. But they will come out with a full force buy that is for SYF Gaming, and it's important that they start with the pick, in which you've said before. I mean, they've been at the disadvantage numerous times in this matchup, and like I said, it's important that they do get this first pick. Just prodding in that mid location, which is great stuff. Immunity reading well into it, though. As you can see, 4 players by that A bomb site. So as soon as mid presence is made from SYF Gaming, Immunity immediately make that rotation and stack towards the A site. So they will be correct in this case, and as we reach the minute mark here, it's all to do for SYF Gaming.
Yeah, they do only have 55 seconds to work this round, try and get this bomb down. The smoke's coming out here to try and block off some of these angles, but a double peek coming out. Chris actually gets the advantage there, takes out Urkas nice and early. This is the man advantage they need. They need to push it now, as they do. Shots coming out. Inno takes out Gratisfaction quite nicely. It is the 3-on-5. They have this advantage, and now it's all on them to lose. James Moe picks up 1. James picks up the 2nd, and now it's all on Burn in a 1-on-3. This should be SYF's round. but don't quote me on that. They've been in a few positions like this and it hasn't worked out before.
Yeah, but Zudmeister managing to get that frag, so finally we're seeing a second round here from SYF Gaming. I mean, it's just alluding back to what I had said before. I mean, those first entry picks being so pivotal on that T side, and you can see why. I mean, even when James did manage to get the 2 frags on that A site, having that man advantage, having those extra numbers really doesn't help him too much in that case, in which they're able to come back and win that round. So 9-2 will be the scoreline here. Not as much economy on the immunity roster as expected, but the push coming here from Banana, and that's an interesting little smoke as SYF Gaming have lost quite a lot of control here, but just damage being exchanged between both players here. And Burn getting that first frag actually onto Zudmeister with the M4, so great start here for Immunity.
Yeah, lovely start for them. Chris obviously tagged down to 14 as well, tagged through that smoke quite heavily. And looks like Immunity still playing with that 3 on A site, 2 actually playing directly in Banana here. But low plays here from SYF again.
Yeah, and I'm loving this change of style really with Immunity. I mean, they lose their first round, or their second round rather, so late into the match, and they decide to go aggressive. They've had enough. They don't like losing those rounds, and when they push back with this style, you can just see how scared SYF are in terms of where they want to be. I mean, bottom of mid, 40 seconds left in the round. That's not quite favourable, and Gratisfaction might be onto something here.
Gratisfaction has been spotted out. They will be chasing him down. James going to put out a couple of grenades. Going to start his rotation round to join Burn and Gratisfaction. No, yes, no. They're actually rotating back through mid here. And now Moe hiding under the patio here. Just needs to figure out what he's going to do. Pax taking a few shots. They know where he is now. Moe's actually going to pick up one. Traded out by Inno. Urkas takes out Pax. And then Burn traded out. Here we go. It's down to a 2-on-2. Chris and Inno very heavily tagged.
No time.
James and Gratisfaction. James the only man on site. He has not been spotted at the back of site. And that is it. The time runs out. And that will be Immunity taking the round out.
Yeah, so fantastic stuff seen for Immunity. And just as I was referencing before, I mean, that aggressive playstyle from Immunity, such a sudden change up in which they really do dominate SYF into that loss of map control, and with time running out so thin in that round, you can see why it's such an effective strategy. So SYF looking to pick up the pace here as they make their way up Nana.
They've made their way up Banana, and Squishy picks up that first one, taking out Burn. That was lovely from him, and it does force Gratisfaction back to being the only player on that B site. Maybe after this push, they are looking to rotate back out, however, but they're just playing a little bit slow, you'd say. Trying to make sure that they don't get flanked as they have been before. And Chris has been spotted out by James. He does have that AK, so depending on how he's feeling, he may be looking to try and keep that alive. In saying that, there is smokes coming out towards the B site, just for the CTs to try and hold off here. Gratisfaction holding off from on top of the coffins. Now, just trying to keep these Ts away.
Yeah, SYF Gaming being quite predictable here, but the counter flash will come in, and Moe losing a lot of health there, actually losing his life, as Gratisfaction with 2 fantastic frags there. Can he make the third? Not quite. He is looking to make that shot. That's a great flick onto Zudmeister, so fantastic situation here for Immunity, but as I say that, James getting fragged out by Squishy here, and we're now left into 1 versus 1 nutters.
We've seen this position before, Squishy in a 1v1 against Urkas. This could go either way at the moment. He should get the bomb down here. Nothing for him to worry about, and now it's just about Urkas and trying to retake this. He knows where the player is. He gets the first shots off. He knows what he's up to, and now gets to the last shots. Finishes off Squishy, grabs that up, and now another defuse will bring this up to 11-2. Only a couple more rounds left in this half, and you'd say SYF don't even look in it.
Yeah, so great stuff there from Immunity, and this is looking like a situation of absolute dire straits for SYF Gaming. I mean, 11-2. Like you said, it's 11-4 at the worst is what you want on the T side, but it's looking grim. I mean, only 3 rifles and 2 Tech 9s for your entire T side. I mean, what really can you do, nutters, here?
Well, win a round. That's probably the most obvious one. I think playing just as aggressive as Immunity might be what they need to do here. I mean, you've got Urcast up here. He's going to get shots off. He's going to pick up one. He's going to pick up... No, only one. Inno does get that trade nice and early. Shots coming out from Chris. Trying to take out James. James is going to get taken out in the end. It's down to a 3-on-3. Heavy tagging on Zudmeister and Pex. And now Moe, Gratisfaction, double up setup. Need to make the most of this. Burn, the only rifler really alive to do anything. And now it looks like Burn might actually be the first one to be taken out by Pex as he peeks around Boiler Room.
Oh, that's...
No, Chris takes out Moe, and Burn actually gets the pick onto Pex. So now they know where he's coming from, but they have work to do. Gonna be Burn going down, and now it's a one-on-one AWP up against that AK. He needs to smoke this off. He's gonna smoke it. He's probably gonna tap it. Yeah, he'll tap it. He's gonna peek out through the smoke. He's gonna get taken out by Chris. And now this is Sif's chance to bring this to an 11-4.
Yeah, I mean, 4 frags for Chris Wow is just an incredible performance there, in which he knows his team need it. I mean, this is 11-3 now, which, I mean, such phenomenal plays are required, and something you've alluded to before. I mean, Chris Wow being the player to watch here for the SYF Gaming roster, and that's exactly why.
Yeah, most definitely. Just that consistency that I'd like to see. And there is going to be shots coming out. And we do see that Immunity, their economy, obviously not the best. This is the final round of the half. They've bought up into it. Basically, just some upgraded pistols, a couple of shotguns for those close range battles, I suppose. But in saying that, Urcast's going to pick up the first one. Pex trades out Moe, gets out of there as fast as he can. SYF do have this one-man advantage, but Squishy take down to 10. Pex down on 58. Not the positions they want to be in, really. And Urcast with a lovely shot onto Pex. Absolutely takes his head off. Brings it to the 3-on-3. Chris has been spotted out by Gratisfaction. Lovely shooting coming out. The advantage now back with Immunity, just not on the weapons side, you'd say. There is an AWP and a Tech 9 on this SYF side, and they just have to figure out what they can do with this.
Yeah, I think the game is up here, though, for SYF, as Gratisfaction does get that PD50 frag, wasting the clock down as Zudmeister does get the AWP shot, but James with the CZ frag, and he will ultimately take that round. 12-3 is the scoreline here for Immunity. Nutters, I mean, 3 rounds on the T side, it can't be good.
It can't be good, and assuming that Immunity are able to, well, say map pick, assuming they're able to pull out anything good on their T side, then they'll definitely be doing a great job. Having a quick look at the scoreboard, though, obviously James up there on 15 frags with Moe. You see Burn really pulling out there, coming out with 16 frags, and then, you know, you drop down just a tiny bit for Gratisfaction. He was AWPing, did pick up a triple kill at one point, and Urcast lagging behind a little bit, but I'm sure, I mean, he's pulling his weight, that's the key, you'd say, for Immunity. Obviously looking at SYF, it's not looking the best for them, most of them dying in most rounds.